Welcome back. It was, according to her publicist, a dream funeral, if there can be such a thing. There were helicopters hovering overhead, a dispute over graveside photographic rights, and live news coverage of the event. The death of Big Brother reality TV star Jade Goody of cervical cancer at such a young age, just 27, was not only a British story. It was covered in the US, India, and many places in between. News companies paid big money for access. The British Prime Minister paid tribute, and his government's now reviewing the way cervical cancer screenings are carried out, all as a result of the death of someone who was, as the saying goes, famous for being famous. The Listening Post's Meenakshi Ravi now on the death of a reality TV star and what the coverage of the story says about the way the media work.
Jade Goody's funeral was a media event, just like the rest of her life. She died of cervical cancer, a disease that kills a woman every 2 minutes somewhere in the world. But hers was no ordinary death. International media had been reporting every detail of the reality TV star's final days. Her funeral was compared by some to Princess Diana's. British publicist Max Clifford has been at the centre of Jade Goody's story. With his help, she stayed in the headlines for months.
I've been doing 50 or 60 interviews a day for the last 5 weeks, 7 days a week, on this subject.
Why are the British interested in Jade Goody? One reason, she's unlike any of the normal people you see on television. She is one of them. She's one person the British can relate to. She's larger than life, she's got character, she's from a class that you just don't see reflected on British television. That's what makes her so popular.
What time is it going to fall off?
Jade Goody became famous after appearing on UK reality TV show Big Brother in 2002.
I know Birmingham weren't in London. I thought Cambridge was in London.
Her ignorance, fiery temper and openness in front of the cameras made good television.
What's asparagus?
Asparagus is like vegetable.
Green thing. Do you grow it then?
But when she was accused of making racist comments about an Indian housemate on a later celebrity version of the show, the media turned against her.
Nobody shut up! You shut up! Shut up! You shut the
I think that's the first information that one had of Jade Goody, the girl who cast those racial slurs on her, the girl who gave Shilpa Shetty a hard time in the Big Brother house. And hence, I think that for most Indians, she wasn't a very nice person.
So all your friends from Bollywood are going to be sort of at this party. Yeah. Is Jade Goody invited? No.
The person that was portrayed, for her own fault, in no small way, Big Brother, was not Jade Goody. You know, this was someone who was far more manipulated than manipulating themselves.
Jade Goody's response was typical. A videotaped interview with tabloid newspaper News of the World made the most of her honesty.
So ashamed and so stupid. I don't want anybody to feel that they're scared of me or intimidated by me.
Then, to prove she was no racist, she appeared on an Indian version of Big Brother called Big Boss. But she had to leave early when she was told on air that she had cancer.
Jade's doctor in London broke the news to her. She is in the early stages of cervical cancer.
And I think that there definitely was a very, very sympathetic view of that that the Indian media took. And I think that everyone felt lousy about the fact that she couldn't be here and complete this thing that she'd started. And I think that in a sense, one almost sort of forgave her for the incident with Shilpa Shetty, because there was obviously an effort, an overture being made to make amends.
Once diagnosed, the mother of two's plight made television networks around the world, and even the front page of the New York Times. OK, a celebrity gossip magazine, spent an estimated $1 million on exclusive wedding photos shortly before her death. A documentary crew from UK's Living TV trailed her as she spent her final days dying from the disease. What made her so popular with the media?
I think it's because she came from a very poor background. She's lived her life in the last 7 years very much in the media spotlight, so she's a product of our time, something that she's loved every minute of, but a lot of people find out hard to understand.
I think what Jade Goody really captured was the collapse of the distinction between private and public. every aspect of her adult life was lived through the media. You know, when she gave birth, it was a huge story. When she raised her kids in a certain way, it was a huge story. When she had arguments, when she died, all those things became media events.
The public have seen my whole story, every aspect of my life they've seen, because I put myself in that situation.
But not everyone is happy with the attention the media have given Jade Goody's death. Some commentators were uncomfortable with her decision to go public.
I take no pleasure in seeing photos of Jade, a woman of, 27, someone I know socially, weeping as she pours out her worries and deepest fears to journalists, hungry for the latest update. Has to be said, checkbooks open.
The Spectator called her a thick Bermondsey chav and said that her revelation of cancer on TV was the lowest publicity stunt ever. And that was a real double standard because, you know, over the past 10 to 15 years, lots of very well-to-do liberal commentators have written extensively about their own struggles with cancer.
I think you have to accept that part of what gave Jade Goody her celebrity was her availability to the public, and selling that and marketing it through the media was also what gave her an income. It's what gave her a living. It's tacky, perhaps. It's not something many of us would feel comfortable about in our own lives, but certainly insofar as show business goes, that's the way the business operates.
Jade Goody's story was tragic. She died from cancer aged only 27, leaving 2 young children. But once her story became a media event, it also became about more than just her. The number of young women going in for cervical cancer screening rose sharply in the UK after Jade Goody made her case public. Will she be remembered for that, or for making money out of her death?
If Jade Goody wanted to raise money for her children before she died, I think that's absolutely fine, and it's entirely her prerogative to do that. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with this idea that it's awareness raising and that it's some, you know, that her publicised death was some great valuable contribution to awareness about cancer, which I think was something attached to the Jade Goody phenomenon by the media rather than something that she came up with on her own.
Jade Goody touched their lives, had an impact on so many people, not just in this country. So when you reflect on that and the differences she made in terms of cervical cancer, then I'm not surprised that there are news organisations here from Australia, from all across Europe, from the Middle East as well.
In a sense, she's a kind of harkening back to a previous age of media rather than the new age of media. She's not a Twitter person. She wasn't on Facebook sharing everything there. You know, she rationed herself via the tabloids and via television. So in many respects, she was quite an old media star.
We go through some bad times, but I love you loads and I don't want to leave you neither.
More Global Village Voices now on the coverage of Jade Goody.
I think the media interest was totally overrated. I mean, I saw a face in the news or in the paper every day and I got totally fed up with it. It's, I think it had media attention only because of this definite kind of tragic ending of her. And the incentive behind it wasn't her giving hope to other people having cancer. It's just about the economic incentive of making a big story out of something.
The media obsession with this woman for me has been quite a sad time. I feel that we are capable of more than mourning the loss of a complete stranger, and someone quite without any kind of talent at that. I am looking forward to a return to more topical issues that perhaps in all the excitement about Miss Goody we might have overlooked, such as globalisation, helping the environment and maybe achieving peace in the Middle East. Were I running a paper personally, I'm afraid the only headline I would run about this woman would say something along the lines of Goody riddance.
Finally, it's back to Obama and what they call the Beast, the president's official limousine. According to General Motors, who made the car, quote, one of the specifications is that we don't talk about the specifications, unquote. Here's what the media have said about it. Cost, $300,000. Equipment, night vision cameras, reinforced steel plating, tear gas cannon, oxygen tanks, and it will keep on rolling even on flat tires. The car is also the subject of a clever montage that was put together by the people at the American Comedy Network, then went viral. The Beauty of the Beast is our internet video of the week. We'll see you next time at The Listening Post.
Obama's our brand new president, and he's promising hope and change. And now that he's in D.C., he gets the White House gas and a plane. Well, baby, you know he loves this. He's the leading Democrat. Moves into the Oval Office. You can say he's living fat. But honey, it's not about the money, 'cause he ain't excited about that. Obama loves his new Cadillac, bulletproof glass, armor-plated doors, tires that run flat, Secret Service guys running alongside. Cost a lot of money, but it's one sweet ride. Everybody wants to go cruising with Barack in his new Cadillac.